I have a question from John Gaff, and he asked that he knew I used Moogs and Oberheims and sequential circuit and Korg and Yamaha gear, and he wondered if there's any reason that I never used ARP synthesizers. And in fact, the first synthesizer I ever played was while I was working in North Hollywood. I went to a rental studio and got my hands on an ARP 2600, and it was, I had a lot of trouble getting it to make a noise at all, but then I would get it to make a noise, and it was so cool. It was so much fun, and I decided I would love to have a synthesizer, but it would, and I want that kind. I want an ARP 2600. And then I had a chance to play with a mini Moog, and I said, nah, I like the ARP 2600 better. It had more visual. You know, there were a lot of, these chords, but before I had a chance to make such a decision, a guy from the Moog company came up to me at Jake's Abbey in Aspen in about 74 or 73, and said, you should have a mini Moog. I said, yeah, I should. He said, I'm going to send you one. And he did. And they sent me a mini Moog. And also they sent Roger Powell, who had an album at the time called Cosmic Furnace, and he was playing with a famous group which I can't get from the top of my head right now. And they sent him to be there for a few days to show me how to use it. And they were a great few days. We had a great time. I didn't really learn how to play the mini Moog, but that took a long time. But because of that, my first synthesizer was a Moog, and influenced a lot of things. Just happen, you know. You go a direction because the water goes that way, and I really did like the ARP stuff. But when I would go and see Mr. ARP, Mr. Perlman maybe, at music shows, he was never particularly friendly. Oh, his name was Friend. That's right. His name was Friend. But I'm sure he was friendly to other people. He just wasn't particularly friendly to me. So instead of using any ARP equipment, I used the stuff where the people were friendly. That pretty much determined how I selected my stuff.